Right, it's probably a bit dark, so I don't know if you can see it or not, but the bottom of the A-pillar here on the driver's side, remember this is a right-hand drive conversion, so this is the driver's side. It's quite rotten down there. Oops, there we are. Quite rotten down there, so what I'm going to do is undo these 3 bolts here, these screws, these 3 screws down here, disconnect the speaker cable, disconnect the check strap, and take the door off. Then we can have a good look at exactly what needs doing down there. But just looking at it now, it looks like it's had a lot of filler over it at some point there, which is not great. But it needs fixing. Take the carpets out, take the fire extinguisher out, take the door off, see where we're up to. Just taking the speaker off the door, but I wanted to show you this. This is the quality workmanship of the company that imported this car. They've put the speaker into the door with household roll plugs. The kind of thing they use for putting a picture on a wall. That's a quality job if ever there was one, that is. I really wish they hadn't put these speakers in the doors anyway, because it's ruined the door panels. And they're this unique colour that's, I believe, is special to this Classico edition car. So I'm going to have to do something about that. I think the best option is to get some paint mixed up, this colour, and paint the speaker grills so at least they blend in. But that's a problem for another day. For now, speakers are off, get the door off. Once all the wires are disconnected for the speakers and the check straps off, it's a simple case of just undoing the 6 screws that hold the hinges, 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom, and then the door just lifts off. With the door out of the way, it's time to clean up what we can of the metalwork around here and see what sort of state it's in. Now, I knew it was rusty already, and I knew the rot continued into the heater channel a little bit. I didn't realise quite how bad it was though. So anyway, cracking on here, getting all the old rust and filler and bodged up repairs out of the way, and then start cutting into the A-pillar. You'll see in a minute that it was much worse than I thought it was. Okay, been doing a bit of work off camera to replace the bottom of this A-pillar here. Obviously the top of the heater channel there is going to need repairs as well. But I've discovered now, just this morning, that the heater channel's been bodged up on top there, covered in filler. You can see the filler there. It's pretty rotten here, which I knew anyway. Around there, this is the bottom of the front quarter, that's a bit rusty, and then the back of the heater channel here is pretty rotten as well. So I think what I'm going to do is stop this job for the minute. I knew at some point the body was going to have to come off, but now I think the heater channel itself is going to have to be replaced. There's no point patching it and patching it and patching it, might as well do the whole thing properly. So the plan now is to continue preparing it to take the body off the floor pan. It's not the way I wanted to do it, but it's the way it's going to have to be. Right, now that I've decided that the body's going to come off sooner rather than later, I stripped all the interior out, got the seats out and the carpets, just dumped a lot of stuff in there just for the time being, because the next thing to do is at the front here is to pull the fuel tank out. There's various wires and pipes and things going to it, with there being a fuel injection one, and of course the sender and whatnot. So I'm going to label all the pipes up, label all the wires up, and lift the tank out. One thing I have noticed, it's a replacement tank. This one's come from Machine 7, so it's obviously not the one it left the factory with. And it's sat up on these wooden blocks here. No idea what that's about. This bolt's ridiculously loose. This bolt's loose. Someone's bodged the fuel tank in there. I guess it's lifted up like that to clear the steering column because it's a left-hand drive tank in a right-hand drive car. But that's just a guess. I'll get it labelled up, taken out, and then we can see what's going on from there. Right, now the tank's removed, next job is to try and make sense of all this lot. It's not made any easier because everything's been covered in some crappy black underseal, so it all looks the same. I've got to try and figure out what's fastened to the body, what's fastened to the chassis, and then separate them as necessary.